In my book, Bessie's Resurrection, I have a poem called They Said All She Needs Is Some Dick. I wrote this after hearing some male poets offer their penises as prescription to adjust the attitude of a fellow female poet. I was stunned into silence at their boldness to say it in front of me and to state it like it was a fact that a woman's bad attitude or unhappiness is dependent upon their sex. In the poem, I ask, and if I get some dick, will I become dickmatized, able to scale tall buildings, leap from them in a single bound, to dodge dick daggers? This poem came to mind recently after a verbal altercation at an upscale black woman-owned nail salon. As a longtime customer, I was annoyed by the scheduling conflict I encountered. I had an 11:30 appointment that was pushed back 3 times. Upon my third return, the same woman was sitting in my scheduled appointment seat. My patience was tested, and I asked the nail tech about the scheduling conflict. Her client, not liking my tone, inserted herself into our conversation and went into full performance mode as if she was auditioning to replace Martin Lawrence's Shanae. It was clear she was not the usual clientele with her use of language that made me wonder if she had confused her GED with what she proclaimed as a college degree. The nail technician, who knows me well, was stunned into silence. She couldn't even summon up the voice to correct this woman who thought she needed her protection. She was so shook that when Shanae told her not to answer me about my appointment, she literally closed her parted lips. I was flabbergasted. I could no longer ignore Shanae's grating twang. I tried shooing her away like an irritating gnat with dismissive words and instructions for the nail tech to text me. Like any good gnat, they buzz the ears or fly up nostrils for attention. She was that good gnat when she spat words that stopped me in my tracks, not because they were true, but because she decided to label me with names that required intimate knowledge that she did not have, much like the male poets who prescribed their penis to a woman they did not know. First, she called me a butch. And then she contradicted herself by saying, "You got no ring on your finger, you single, old, and bitter." The fact that she was conflicted about my sexuality did not baffle me as much as her assertion of my supposed bitterness. Shanae, who does not know my name nor address, assumes something about my sexuality and disposition based on what her life has told her about women who rock a short cut and who don't rock a ring on their finger. She said this without provocation or proof. I was astounded by her level of ignorance. This version of Shanae, who is at least 20 years younger than me, flew out careless words that yelled her homophobia to innocent listeners. Her assertion that all married women wear rings is just as incorrect as all women who do wear rings are happy. She had no way of knowing the choices that lead women to choose peace over penises. She had no way of knowing that age brings joy in a purpose-driven life. She had no way to answer when I asked if she thought her worth was determined by whether she was someone's wife or not. She did not hear the hate she harbors for women with her belief that the greatest insult to another woman is to bash her sexual choice or her choice to have or to not have a mate. Her words no longer allowed me to dismiss her as the gnat I deemed her to be. I realized she got those ideas from somewhere. She was not a lone weapon used against other women. She had accomplices. Maybe her own mother, grandmother, and aunties talked about women in this way. Maybe she too was a fly on the wall listening to men discuss women they only assumed to know. I looked at the nail tech with whom I was talking to in the first place before this chick became Captain Saberho, and her eyes held an unknown terror. Maybe it was her own terror of being a woman without a man, or the terror of being silenced, misnamed, and maimed like that female poet left voiceless by poets who forgot to let their pens sing. In the meantime, be good to you.